Okay. This time it's not saying check your connection unstable, premiering waiting for Glenn. Until I come in, it looks like it's fine on here, but previewing it on my cell phone is not showing it. Even though it's scheduled, it said it was scheduled for 10:05, even though it's 10:08. And we got a like, so somebody's here, because I didn't just put it. Doesn't say there's a viewer. The computer itself was 2 minutes ahead of what the YouTube thought it was. And then one time that happened recently, and it didn't post till that time in the PM. Anyway, I'm glad this is working. I'm not sure if it's Riel, if it's the person left, whatever, but at least they liked it. But nice when they stick around and engage a bit too, even. Maybe they are having technology issues too. Who knows? Because we missed him, not sure. But I don't know how long this is going to be. I just wanted to come and post because I tried to post it on another social media. I don't use a lot of them, I was just about to post it actually. Just had a couple of lines left to say or whatever, and basically it kind of started lagging, and then it erased, and then my browser crashed, and all of my tabs in the version I use most asked to be did not relaunch, unfortunately. So I don't know, but part of me thought, even though I might not be doing anything tomorrow particularly, I thought, why not come to YouTube and do this? I haven't posted in a while. I was slightly under the weather on St. Patrick's Day, slightly. And then I started thinking of burgers as much as I think luck of the Irish, good thing, And I didn't. But I don't know if I should show this or not, but I did buy myself a little something a few days before, and I was going to kind of show it off a bit just quickly. Just a very quick sample. And but anywho, it's close, Anywho, but speaking of the people that are less lucky, I just wanted to take a few moments to talk about them. And I don't fashion indecent supposed or otherwise, just on the internet. And not even that, really, not very much. And I think it was pretty decent. And modest. I think it was fairly modest. Anywho, point of the matter being is that now I can check it off the bucket list again. But that reminds me of an interesting movie I saw recently, actually. And I did a song from that movie in one of the other recent ones here. But basically, my thoughts that I was having kind of connected to the topic. And my examples may actually only happen. Well, I'm always trying to do good. I'm always trying to be helpful. I don't know sometimes what I'm doing wrong. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes it's the other person. But in times in my life, I've had more success with it than others. But then other times. And then other people, I suppose, too. But basically, what I was kind of thinking about is how many, many months ago, someone who I surprisingly didn't get that close with. I mean, we did communicate with each other. We didn't dislike each other. And in fact, how we knew each other, you would have thought that maybe we would have gotten a bit closer. I ran into him at an office I used to go to a group at as we get second viewer a while back, and he was in the process of moving, and I gave him my number, I think, but never heard back. And two people left. I don't know if they were assuming a certain something, which is not what I was saying, but anyway. But today it kind of occurred to me, and with somebody else from the same place, and who knows who else, I wonder if there's ever anybody who kind of thinks, oh, I don't want to bother them, or oh, I don't want to, I don't want to call it a bad time or whatever, this and that. I mean, it's not that I'm always bored, but a lot of the times lately I'm feeling pretty stagnant and bored and stuck. And it wouldn't have been the case that they would have done that. I'm just going to do a really quick sound check. It's interesting that says Raquel. And it does remember one recent search. Yeah, I don't know what I did the exact same way, except I changed it. I made it an additional minute or two past the stamp that it suggested when I started this. Anywho, point of the matter is basically that I'm surprised that this wasn't my aspiration, but sometimes does. And as I'm thinking about it, kind of does. I did wash my hair today, and hopefully, I've had a hat on, but hopefully my hair is not too wild and distracting. But yeah, basically, but I think it was possibly the first. I'm just kind of near the top of the story, which there's not a lot of details about, but viewer left, whatever. There's the underdog barking right there on the floor underneath me. And I'm seeing an interesting dog. It's dark, but it's got brown leg, like brown kind of lower legs, or kind of brownish. Anywho, basically, I think it was the first time I met him. I can't remember his exact wording, but it was something about, always trying to be there for the underdog. And this guy, I could tell, he'd had a hard life. With mental health, possibly areas that he's lived in, financially, and sometimes those all connect, right? He'll stop shortly. Yeah, and I think it was just a simple a statement such as that. And I know sometimes easier said than done, despite effort. Sometimes it's true, but yeah, it was just simply to saying, always. And please don't misread this. I get warm. I don't want to wear a full sweater, but my neck and my arms sometimes get warm. So, and it's actually secondhand. I'm not crazy about the pattern, but I'm used to it. Anywho, I'm not inventing. But anyway, basically, to always help the underdog. And I think that is a good way to be. And I'm curious, a couple things. One, when are some times when you feel you've done that? Two, is there times currently where you're trying to make a decision about doing so? And whether you need help with the decision or not, feel free to share it. That may be something that I've done wrong in the past. I don't know. Boasting a little bit. We live in a very social media age, and social and when a social person is feeling a lack of that kind of thing sometimes, although this morning has been quite active on the other site that I'm on, but one side of me wants to not even attempt, and the other, or attempt to and the other side kind of. But you don't need recognition. You don't need recognition, but sometimes you do, I suppose, too. And so for me today, what I have planned, aside from using a gift card that we've had since Christmas, honestly, it's an area not super far from us, but that I don't really like to go into very much because it's kind of iffy. And the subway near us is not very good, not very well managed, not very fresh. The times that we've been there, past couple times especially. So I never plan to go back. But there's another one, which may not be any better, but we'll see, that is near where I'm going to be for something today. I know she was saying something about Would Friday work, and now I'm thinking YouTube and how I came there, but those other things. But they didn't know that, except for that one. And they were still being thankful and still wanting to bring me on board, I think. But they also dealt with bots and were saying something. And the process, although I had done a large part of it, but two things kind of hindered me in it. So I really hope, and I'm doing this in this room, but it's the only device I can do this on at the moment, because this doesn't record audio, but I got the app on it. I don't know if at any point in time it was telling me the app wasn't working. I can't remember. But on my tablet, it just doesn't. It does in the browser, but you can't live stream in Chrome for some reason. or not my version. I don't know how to update it. Plus, I don't want to lose tabs. But basically, yeah. Wow, I've covered a lot in 10 minutes. But yeah, basically, I'm going to be going to an agency for the first time to see about volunteering. One, it's the first kind of nice spring day, or I think we've reached the first day of spring now. I mean, we changed the clocks, or certainly it's soon, but it's probably one of the nicest days we've had in a while. In the plus temperatures. I don't know if there's a wind. I haven't noticed one, but I haven't been out either. But I haven't noticed one when I've looked out. It's very nice out, and I just realize sometimes how the things. You know what? I wonder. I'm actually kind of curious if that. I hate to take that one down though. I really do. But I'm almost wondering if sometimes people come in, tune in, and they don't stay long because they're like, he's got this round thing as pretty as it is coming out of his head and a mirror right behind him. So I can do something about one of those things, but the other thing, possibly not, unless I sit very still and even still. No, I don't know. I'm surprised that hasn't done the audio jack. So I'm sorry about that. I don't really want to take it off the wall, but I'll ask Glenn about it tonight maybe and see. I know this one keeps lifting. That seems to be the only one that does. But anyway, basically, I don't know if this needs to be on it. It's pretty bright in here, I think. Yeah. Not that. Yeah. So anyway, but if I sit maybe, and then of course the thingy, the webcam, some often picks it up the opposite side than things actually are. What did I just drop? I felt something just drop and roll. Oh, here. And so to more sit in front of that, I'd have to push the thing I'm sitting on this way, and there's a piece of furniture here. So, anywho, so basically, yeah, I'm going to go in and help out at a food pantry for the first time. Initially, she suggested Thursday. Then she said she's in a meeting. Can I come Friday? But again, it's the nice weather. Today is sooner. And I have been in limbo and stuck in life lately, a lot in my 30s, but especially the past 2 or 3 years. So since the pandemic, actually, come to think of it, maybe just since then, 3 or 4 years. But I mean, I have had struggles throughout that time, but I guess they're just not that there's not some good things in my life, but there have been it's been lacking in some areas and struggling. So basically, yeah. And honestly, I mean, well, you never know who's going to see a YouTube video. So, but I mean, I don't have a lot bad to say. I have a slight frustration, and I'm hoping that before I end up leaving, it will get kind of smoothed out. And if not, I'll just go and hope that it works out, and then let them know that I did so. I said I hadn't heard back. I was in the area. I stopped in, asked if they wanted me to, and hopefully they will. Haven't had to do much, but it's just kind of trying it out. We're good. I'm not big about the fact that they ask for a record check. A lot of places do, unfortunately, but it is. It feels offensive in some ways. And I have to get downstairs actually because I forgot the other phone down there, and I'm expecting a call on it from my worker, kind of to help me address those thoughts. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't have any reason to worry, but it's and we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Who knows what I'll see along the way? But it's gonna be a bus ride because she can't drive clients. So stupid. Even if I'm willing to take the risk, but she can join me on the bus. To go do it because I'd rather pay in person too. I don't, and I'd not been able to figure out how to do it online. So, but I had to figure out one other piece of information before deciding about that. And part of me, I told myself, I don't want to go there. I really love the environment and the person I'm helping with or whatever, and 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 then not be able to come back because I know my truth. We can't really afford to be out of pocket for something that otherwise I really don't need to do. Nothing else is really asking for it, and such, and it should be covered basically. Uh, but basically, yeah. So basically, um, I I haven't wanted to call. I thought, you know what? Hopefully, she's in her work emails often, might be one of the locations, and she'll get back to me. Otherwise, I'll just go because I'm planning to be in that area anyway. Um, but yeah, I hope that. And sorry, this is not my usual hat, and maybe it looks a little funny, but my other one's actually probably almost done in the dryer. But yeah, it's kind of like I don't know if I feel like I'm jinxing it or not, but slightly. But it's kind of like, yeah, I hope that they will help me out with the cost of that since they're asking for requiring it. And then it's hopefully as simple as just doing it, you know. And not only will that get me out of the house, not that I'm never am, but these days, and I do have something kind of midsummer for a couple weeks that'll keep me quite busy. But otherwise, I'm almost kind of housebound, really, for various health reasons and stuff. And but I can push myself a bit, and I think that would be good for me. Um, and this place is not far, and like I say, I do need paid work, but hopefully, if I share that with the right person, there maybe down the road, I'll get offered something. Once they already know me, I would hope that they don't say, "Oh, you have to renew it." I mean, I kind of feel like that's kind of the way those things are too. But it's like, and the stupid. Well, I don't want to say one thing because, well, first of all, if it's not realized, then it should be. But second of all, well, then they'd look at everybody the same way, and they never, yeah. But yeah, unfortunately, certain people make it so that it's a little harder for other people who it shouldn't be hard for to get opportunities. But um, so I've been the underdog in life at times, and perhaps we all have been, but I would say some people less for sure. Um, and yeah, I don't know if I should share about something I noticed the other day. Surprisingly, I don't know when I look, but seeing a second pink coat today, or it looks pink from here. Just looking out the window, but that I don't know. Well, and that one lady that commented that post she made just thought it's the teen's own fault, and was that well, it's just on my social media that I use that I have access to these days. I just don't have a huge circle. And it ebbs and flows a bit, but it's always good when you can work things out, but sometimes can't. But I wouldn't have just made a YouTube video just about that. And other people do it too, whether for similar reasons or not. And I would have thought that a woman would have been more concerned about these at-risk teens, but she probably figured they're just silly teens, and you know serves them right if they get hurt or whatever. Which part of me felt that too. Um, and then this morning there was two, and they ran two or three. One with a big afro, and they ran to the lane, and then it just was supposed to be to come back for something. I forget what. And then, but yeah, and it was kind of chaotic around there. But yeah, I guess my supposed got passed before then, and then I forget the name of it. Unfortunately, it says, "Can you just wait 5 minutes or whatever?" Then and I can't remember something about checking you and that. And then he ran back towards the direction he just ran from, um, on ice. But I guess if they used to hockey or whatever. But and the car stayed there for a bit, and then it kind of pulled into the side lot for a bit, and then another car came up, and it kind of looked like it was going to park double in a parking lot where they really aren't supposed to, or angled or whatever. But then it kind of straightened out and went back on the road, and then that one went the other way. It was just weird to watch. But anyway, I mean, the truth is, like, we live near a school, and the teenagers and that, they do run around. But I don't seem to notice it very often. And I do, even if I don't go out a lot, I do look out the windows. And I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, but something I saw the other day, I wondered if somebody was maybe at risk, but it was very hard to tell and happened very quickly. And I wasn't able to really do anything further than witness it. That particular example. And I mean, that's one other thing I'll say before I wrap this up. You do have to consider your own safety first. And, pause a moment. And I know it can be hard if there's a lot going on, but kind of assess things and decide best course of action. And if you can't decide, think of possibilities and then just try and do it. This isn't exactly the same, but I'll say it because why not? I'm surprised I haven't heard from What's-Her-Face, but since I haven't heard from her and she checks her phone and emails just in the morning before her appointments, I'm probably not gonna. But that's okay. I did say I might be kind of jumping ahead of things a bit. But basically, this was really weird. So yesterday, I want to say it was after the nap, before the bath, I feel like. Because I remember, I think I was in the bed when I saw it, and it wasn't right before bed. In fact, I slept for a few hours, woke up, and then it was one of the things that kind of popped in my mind pretty quickly without even looking at my device. It was weird. But there's this post, and it's weird. I don't think I got notification of anybody else commenting on it, to be quite honest. What I have for other posts. But basically, somebody had found, and after, and I hadn't thought a lot about it when I saw it. I guess I got distracted or I was tired or whatever. Usually, I'm a big, deep thinker or whatever. But there was this post about a bench in the park in my hometown, not where I live now, where somebody had left not a plastic water bottle, but like a water thermos kind of thing, clear, a jacket. I wasn't, got things running through my head like this, and I said this particular one, and he got like 20 minutes more sleep, but that's much. Anyway, a jacket or some sort of sweater, and car keys. And the car keys one is what really confused me as we get a viewer. And I was still trying to fall back asleep, and I was, and I thought, why would somebody have not grabbed it? I understand if you grab the stuff and then somebody else goes back to look for it, or some people will try and put something at eye level. I remember once I lost a key. I was in Sydney, Australia, and I had a rental unit that was actually next to I might be using the wrong phrasing, but I think and I was 10 or 15 years younger than I am now, but a youth hostel, which I guess sounds like hostile, but it's not. But anyway, with backpackers, basically, people, I don't know how to define it, but hopefully you know what I mean. Anywho, and it was like 3 or whatever, but, it was the place we picked out. It was affordable. I mean, my brother had a small apartment. Really, I would have slept on a couch, I suppose, but I think he may have lived with his mother actually at the time, and that. Anywho, I had lost his key. We went up and down or whatever. I can't remember how many times we did, but there was this brick wall that had slats in it, and somebody had put it, from what I recall, put it in the slats. Never did find myself, but and But you never know when someone's going to go back for it, but you might take it thinking, oh, maybe I can protect it from, as someone said, it had been there for a few days, somebody come and get it before it rains. Yeah, I guess car keys could be damaged in the rain. Water bottles got water on the inside anyway, and the coat, it could get moldy after a while, I guess. But I just thought it was weird that the person didn't grab the items and post it to the group, but took a picture of it and posted it to the group and left the items there. I mean, it was obvious by the statement, "Get it before it rains," that which I guess they're getting rain there. I mean, it is spring there, and I guess it's more springy. Interesting. I mean, not surprising when you think about it, but somebody was just telling me they finished high school 2 years before I was born. Interesting how life works like that, eh? Everybody's on a different trajectory, so to speak, but also so similar. Anywho, and basically, it was as if, and people get mad even when an admin has approved something. It was as if yeah, almost as if they'd stolen it and then decided, okay, I'll fess up and I'm not going to take it. I'm going to leave it here and hopefully the owner sees my post, is what it seemed like to me. And perhaps other people. Someone else said possibly a child abduction. I'm not sure if I make the connection on that. And I'm going to try and find the post if I can. And I've got, well, I'm not going to roll much longer, but I've got 11, 12, got about 2 hours before I got to go out. But basically, if I was to do it by memory, okay, it's not far because I was seeing these posts this morning. And they were actually, I think, up on the screen about the motorcycles. I'm trying to start music again. However, isn't this cool? Cool way to get to school. Anyway, there's not a whole lot I can do about it, by the way. Like I say, like I've decided the thing about today, and the other thing I just eventually deleted the post, and guess we'll let people be stupid. There's another bishop. But here it is. Must say it's kind of an interesting looking water bottle. It says something along the bottom, but it's too blurry to figure it out. But it's very artistic looking. It actually looks like that's a sweater and a hat and gloves. Anyway, I can say it exactly as this one person said. And when I saw this morning, I don't know why I'm sharing this. I really don't. Like, it doesn't really fit the title, but it's the other thing that was on my mind, or the three bigger things, or the three big-ish things this morning, but surely there's others. Basically, somebody said, Doug got badly hurt and parent called 911, leaving these things behind as they left in the ambulance, question mark. And the first time I read this, I was like, why are the question marks there when she's sounding like she was there and knows what happened? Parent had a medical problem and at the other end of the park, and 911 was called, leaving everything behind, question mark. Dad's car broke down at the park, and dad and child got a ride home from somebody else, leaving everything behind, question mark. I really hope somebody posts what happened here. Question mark? Just because, will they? And it's just, I didn't say the person's name and posted that, it's very thoughtful and creative. It reminds me of another comment. This is a topic. It doesn't really fit this topic, or maybe it does. But basically, so they aren't saying what happened, but even though those aren't necessarily positive things, if I'm to let myself think, okay, maybe that's what happened, I feel like it's a little bit easier to understand it and therefore kind of let it be. I don't know. This is more about self-love, though, this particular comment. Different intelligence, musical, mathematical, spatial, and of course, interpersonal intelligence as well as intrapersonal intelligence. That means some people have the natural ability to overcome trauma by themselves with no help. If what you say is true, and if you did not have therapy, or it means you are one of those who actually learns and grows from their life experiences and realizes they can actually choose different. I try my best. It doesn't mean that you don't need help sometimes. Anywho, I kind of want to get back downstairs and rest for a bit. But yeah, somebody just tuned in. Not sure if it's Riel or Misty or somebody else. But yeah, so I am going to wrap this up soon. Feel free to watch it from the beginning. But basically, aside from a little bit of storytelling that I told, some of it related more to the topic. Others, and I was going to kind of recap a couple of questions I asked kind of near the beginning. But the viewer went, so why bother? And I'm pretty sure that the one person I'm a bit closer with, I told about this, it wouldn't be them, but maybe it was the other person. I don't know. I hope I give a good vibe. Oh, but either they came back or somebody else is here because, yeah, I mean, sometimes devices do something. So my question that I'm posing for the comments is, when are times, well, there's three that come to mind. When have you, the viewer leaves, but I'll do it anyway because this isn't super duper long, and for people that do appreciate that this afterwards. When are times that you felt like the underdog? When are times and perhaps share who helped you get out of that, unless it was yourself, and you could share that too, I suppose. Two, when have you felt like you've helped an underdog? And three, and there's really no, I know it's kind of a weird phrase or wording or whatever, but there's really not much of a better one that I've noticed when I Googled. And I suppose I'll only make it, but I don't know. But, and I guess in what type of ways do you hope to be of help to the underdog or less fortunate, in the future? I'm hoping to. I'm going to be going to Subway later, and I don't really go to Subway very often. I'm not much of a huge sandwich person, to be quite honest. They have some new items, which sound interesting, but not the kind of things I'd like, I think. So I think I know what I'm going to order. One of the things I think I've gotten before, and again, it was from the Subway that was a bit iffy though, but I don't know if I'll get that, or I think I might try the other one, because that was a weird cheese on that, cheese rounds or whatever. It was weird. But I'm hoping I can actually enjoy my lunch. I'm actually thinking I might get half of one, half of the other. I don't know. Or get something, see how I like it, and then see. Part of the matter is I know that there can be a lot of homeless people around that area. If I don't like it, I might give it to someone, which would feel great and lovely. But at the same time, kind of want my lunch. We are in between grocery days and don't have a lot. Plus, I'm picky, but we don't have that much right now, aside from stuff I've been eating for the past few days, kind of. And although it doesn't sounds really better for the pasta. And what else is there is for this evening. And I would put up a grocery list twice, but still haven't thought of anything interesting other than the usual, pretty much. But I'm planning to go that way anyway. I had the gift card, So I figure might as well. So I have, if I leave at 1, I'd probably get there at 20 after, 25 after, get there at 2, 2:15. Yeah, I'll leave around 1 or whatever. So that's still 2 hours away. So the morning isn't going fast. I mean, 11's somewhat late, I guess. $36 ago, that was liked. That would have been since my edit, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up now. Get my energy back and relax until I head out. I might keep saying in one new notification, but then when I click it, I'm not seeing it. But they also seem to slightly be showing out of sequence, or they were. Maybe it's fixed now. Anyway, so hopefully everybody has had or is having a good day, and take care. Feel free to also make some song requests, and I'll try and do them next time. Just when it's appreciated, I want to keep doing music. I've been given the ability, so might as well. But sometimes I don't feel like it. That's for sure. Okay, take care.